Good morning, SKN. I'm Andre Cunningham.
And I'm Cortensia Carty.
Welcome to Good Morning, SKN,
Yeah.
and hope you're having an awesome day so far, Corty.
So far, so good. Yourself?
Awesome day.
Alrighty.
Awesome day. Here's what's happening on the local scene, folks. This one comes to us from Win Media SKN. A synopsis from the Federal Municipal Unit of the St. Kitts and Nevis Fire and Rescue Services confirms that wildland fires decreased in the first quarter of 2023 when compared to the year 2022. Despite the overall downward trend in wildland fires, there was an individual increase at Tabernacle and Charlestown fire stations during the first quarter. In St. Kitts, for the first quarter of 2022, January 1 to April 30th, there were a total of 78 wildland fires, whilst in 2023, 69 wildland fires were recorded, a decrease of 12%. Of the recent figures presented, the Tabernacle Fire Station reported to 24 wildland fires in January to April 2023 when compared to 17 in 2022, an increase of 41%. For the same period on the island of Nevis, which is serviced by the Charlestown Fire Station, 2 wildland fires were recorded in 2022, while 3 were recorded in 2023, an increase of 50%. However, Acting Fire Sub-Officer Ryan Blois, head of the statistics unit within the St. Kitts Nevis Fire and Rescue Service, told a WinFM reporter that the weather temperature variation really has had no major influence on fire behavior.
That's good to know. Very good to know. As we proceed, our second story comes from SKNIS. The Ministry of Youth Empowerment, Aging and Disabilities is planning to deliver several activities designed to promote societal awareness of persons who are blind and partially sighted, thereby changing the perceptions amongst sighted individuals. This was according to Mistress Mauricia Brown, coordinator of the Disability Services within the ministry, on May 10th edition of In Focus. She highlighted an activity in Guyana where government ministers walk certain areas in the country while blindfolded. This, she said, will be replicated in St. Kitts and Nevis. Mistress Brown said, the ministry is preparing to do the same thing here on May 19th, and we already have the buy-in of a couple of ministers as well as persons in society. They will start from different points in Bastille at different times. Each person will walk a short distance blindfolded using a cane to see how it is to maneuver through the streets of Bastille. Mistress Brown noted that each blindfolded individual will be accompanied by either a blind or visually impaired person as well as a sighted person.
Awesome stuff there for the
Indeed.
visually impaired.
I'm looking forward to this event.
Indeed. Still on the local scene, this one comes to us from the SKNIS. The Department of Youth Empowerment is expanding its environmentally friendly activities by encouraging youth groups and young individuals to plant fruits and vegetables and possibly begin a backyard garden. The Green Thumb Project, as it is dubbed, is being executed with support from the Ministry of Agriculture. A donation of slips and seedlings was recently presented to the Department of Youth Empowerment to distribute to interested youths and youth-oriented parties. Among the donations were slips and seedlings of sweet peppers, squash, cauliflower, honeydew, sugar apple, passion fruit, neem, soursop, and more. Some of the slips and seedlings were distributed last month to the target population during the Popular Agriculture Open Day at the department's booth. Pictures showcasing the department's tree planting initiatives were also displayed at the booth. Further, slips and seedlings are also being donated to various schools to enhance their efforts to establish or expand their farming programs.
Great initiative, especially for the young people.
Indeed.
Now for the weather forecast, it is mostly sunny with a high of 85 and a low of 76 degrees Fahrenheit. I must speak of yesterday though. Yesterday it wasn't as hot as I expected.
Good thing.
Oh, good thing indeed. It's currently 84 degrees Fahrenheit. Take a look at your local weather as we head to the break. Much more on Good Morning SKN when we return.
That's it.
An exotic experience.
Oh, come here.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN as we continue with the latest in regional news. The news comes from the Jamaica Observer. A major row is developing at the University of the West Indies, the UWI, over a proposed new gender policy which will require everyone connected to the regional institution to be referred to by the gender with which they identify. The new policy focuses on a person's gender identity, cisgender, transgender, gender, non-conforming, non-binary, genderqueer, among others, rather than their sexual orientation, heterosexual, homosexual, gay, lesbian, bisexual, queer, same-sex loving, same-gender loving, woman-loving, men-loving men, among others. It is said to be designed to foster a secure environment in which all students and staff members across the spectrum of gender and sexual identities on all campuses feel protected and safe from any form of gender-related violence and create living, working, and learning environments across the university which provide for people of all gender identities and sexual orientations. And it's a row. I hope the row stays calm and it doesn't blow into something bigger than expected.
I know. Here's what's happening now on the international scene. This one comes to us from ABC News. Britain's fertility regulation on Wednesday confirmed the births of the UK's first babies created using an experimental technique combining DNA from 3 people, an effort to prevent the children from inheriting rare genetic diseases. The Human Fertilization and Embryology Authority said fewer than 5 babies have been born this way in the UK. In 2015, the UK became the first country to adopt legislation regulating methods to help prevent women with faulty mitochondria, the energy source in a cell, from passing defects on to their babies. The world's first baby born using the technique was reported in the US in 2015. The genetic effects can result in diseases such as muscular dystrophy, epilepsy, heart problems, and intellectual disabilities. About 1 in 200 children in Britain is born with a mitochondrial disorder. To date, 32 patients have been authorized to receive such treatment. Just loving technology and science.
I'm here thinking, what? Yeah.
Interesting, folks. Stay with us. Much more when we return on GMSKN.
No cash, no card, no problem. Jad, embrace the freedom.
Cheers.
An exotic experience.
What will it take to grab the attention of someone with the power to make your dream come true? 7 hopeful entrepreneurs in search of the finances necessary to take their ideas to the next level.
This is their lives, right? This is their business.
4 savvy business owners ready to make a pragmatic investment.
You can't help people if you can't help yourself. First you make the dollar and you give the dollar.
Why you take your business offline?
I really feel that you need to do a little bit more research.
Very knowledgeable. Super knowledgeable.
You have a great idea and a great concept. I think you'd be snapped up by Disney.
If you have a job someplace, it means that if something is not working, you can walk away.
Who will invest?
Let's do this. Let's do this.
Thank you. And who will be sent home with nothing? I am your host, Kevin Hope.
Yo, what up? It's your boy N Richie right here at Studio 327. I'm here to give you the promo that you guys need because this is something special for St. Kitts. I'm telling you, tune in to Good Morning SKN, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on YouTube, Facebook, and on Moment Channel 4. Also, I realize nobody else is doing this. Follow the Good Morning SKN Instagram at Good Morning SKN and the Studio 327 Inc. Instagram. Follow us on YouTube and Facebook. This is pretty long, but follow us and yeah.
Greetings, my lovely people. I'm Chantel, residing in Taiwan. 12 hours time difference. It's nighttime here, morning time in SK. I'm busy and on the go. However, I always manage to keep up to date with what's happening in SK. All thanks to Good Morning SKN. Good morning SKN. Ciao, bango!
Welcome back to a Good Morning SK. And if you're not on, if your friends are not on, go tell them we are on. And guess what? We got a surprise in store for you. So it's time for Sports Corner. Joining us are the 2023 St. Kitts Nevis Carifta athletes, Akanye Samuel Francis and Deschanel Thomas, accompanied by their coach, Timothy Morton. I was trying to get their names correct. I don't want to get them wrong at all. So good morning to you three and welcome to Good Morning SKN.
Welcome, guys.
Hi, good morning.
Happy to have you on GMSKN.
Indeed, indeed. So, congratulations, firstly, again, because I'm going to tell you a lot of congratulations today. When, Deschanel, I'm going to start with the lady first. When were you introduced to athletics?
I was introduced to athletics in grade 1 when I first ran at my school sports day and I placed first in the 100 meters. Then I started to train with the Outer Limits track club and I just got better and better.
Oh, awesome. Good stuff.
Awesome.
Akanya?
Well, I started athletics at a very young age, but it wasn't really my strong suit because I was more into football. So, but after a while, I started to train and then started to practice more, and I saw that I got better.
Wow! So for somebody that was into football that has a gold medal, wow, you're doing good for yourself.
Interesting. So, Mr. Morton, when did you become the coach for Deschanel and Akane?
This year, actually, her mom brought her, and she was an excellent athlete.
Right.
Akanye, both of them are talented athletes. So it was just a matter, basically, of grooming that, nurturing it, and developing that talent.
Understood.
You speak about developing the talent. What were the preparations like for the Carifta game for these two and the other athletes that you had?
It was challenging to some extent.
In what way, Mr. Morton?
Kanye is a hurdler, as you know, and we had to prepare some hurdles because the hurdles were not readily available to us.
Okay.
We had to actually get them fixed and stuff.
Okay.
So we had to invest. So in terms of that, we had to invest to ensure that he had the hurdles so he could practice. And also for him, he's a footballer. I think he captains the under 15 team.
Go guy.
So and he has a lot of extracurricular activities. He have classes and so on. So he trains at mornings. He trains from 5 o'clock in the morning to 7. So again, it's a matter of trying to, compromise, making the sacrifice. So he have been making the sacrifice and practicing at mornings, 3 days per week, 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock.
Wow.
Well, Coach Morton, you just mentioned some of the issues you had with the hurdles, so to speak, but the fact that he actually went and did so well. Can you imagine if he had all the resources?
Yeah, I agree. Yes, and in fact, now he has captured that coveted prize of the gold medal in the 400 meter hurdles on the 17 boys. Now he has put a mark on his back, so everyone will be gunning for him.
Right.
And when you're on top, you'll have to stay on top, or there's only one direction to go. So you have to make sure whatever advantage, whatever you have to do, you do to ensure that you maintain that level.
You mentioned challenges. Can we speak about some of the highs you had with the athletes during the preparations as well?
Yeah. As a coach, you would, be elated when your athlete goes into a competition and your expectations, your mark. Let's say you have a target of whatever time it is, and they are able to attain that time. You, as a coach, happy, elated, and those are some of the things that encourages me when an athlete comes to train, takes the training seriously, and applies themselves. And when they go into competition, it really resembles what they do in training. So that's a good feeling for me.
Good stuff, indeed.
So Deschanel, I love that smile. So tell us, all athletes have their favorite individual contest that they like to participate in. What's your favorite?
My favorite race is the 400 meters.
The 400 meter.
Even though some people think is like a long race to me. It's just like a warm up to me.
Yeah.
It's not really long because
making me look bad.
you have to know how to work yourself around the track.
Okay.
And I know how to work myself around the track, so it's easy for me. So my favorite race is the 400 meters.
So you don't tell them the secret. Please don't. We're keeping it right here in St. Kitts Nevis.
And Akanya, what is your favorite event to participate in?
My favorite event is the 400-meter hurdles where I captured the goal.
Okay.
At first, I didn't really wanted to do it because it was hard, it was tiring, and practice was more harder. And at first, it was like I wanted to quit it. I didn't want to do it anymore. But then when I realized that I started to excel and do good things in the event, I started to like it more.
Okay. So you mentioned it being difficult. Being in the 400 hurdles, was that a choice of yours, or was that something that your coach saw in you and he decided, okay, you will be in the hurdles race instead of running a normal 400?
Well, it was an event my coach saw me like doing because he saw me when I first got to practice. I wasn't doing it, but then he told me, let's try it to see how I could do in the hurdles. And then when he realized that I could actually do it, I started to practice for it, and I just got better.
Oh, that's good. And your better got your whole goal.
So Akani, tell us, when you won that race and you received that gold medal, tell us what was the feeling like standing up on that medal podium just representing St. Kitts? What was the feeling like?
It was a very blessed experience. I felt that I did the country proud, that people all over St. Kitts was watching me and was very proud of me. And even though they may not know me, they were supporting us, because even before I ran the race, we were doing good because we got 2 medals before.
Oh, nice.
So the fact that we got a goal, I think that boosts the confidence and the country confidence that we small and we tall.
Yeah, indeed. When you went up to the racing line, Kanye, I have to stay on you for a minute. What did you think? Did you actually think that you were coming away with a medal of some sort? Did you expect it to be gold?
Well, I expected to come home with a medal.
Oh, okay.
I didn't really expect to come first.
Wow.
But coming around the last bend, and I saw that I was in medal content, like I was up there. I tell myself, why not push for it?
I like that.
Of course.
Nice.
Coach Morton, what can be done to ensure these athletes maintain and improve on their performances?
Very good question. Sometimes persons see the output, but they don't really concern themselves with the input. Athletes need a lot of support emotionally, support financially. For example, an athlete really ought to have 2 or 3 pairs of tracks. A pair where they're practicing and a pair where they're competing. And like anything else, the body is like the machine. After training, really and truly, they ought to be properly massaged to relax the muscles so that, to prevent injury, to actually accelerate the recovery process and all of that. Athletes, in other jurisdictions have that leisure and pleasure. And these athletes don't necessarily have that. It comes at a cost if we have to send them to a proper masseur to get that. In terms of nutrition, are they eating right? What are they eating? Meal plan, supplements. One of the things that I think is essentially important is competition. Akanye is very talented and he doesn't have much competition here. So one of the things that would be immensely helpful for him leading up to next year's Carifta is to actually have some competition, high level competition, so he can gauge himself, right? And in order to do that, that would need funding, of course. He would need, to stay somewhere, there's also hotel, airfare, that kind of thing. The same thing for Deschanel. So in order to really get these athletes to maintain where they're at and even improve, it comes at a cost. So I would welcome any assistance for them in whatever way or fashion it may be, so that they could continue their training and continue to excel in their respective events.
Ishmael, you're pretty quiet over there. So you got a billboard. You both got a billboard. I'm gonna start with you. When you saw that billboard, how did it feel to be recognized by not only your country, but your community?
It was a surprise. I didn't know that I was getting a billboard, and they lead me around, and I was like, what was that? And then when I saw them pull it down, I was like, wow, that's I was proud, because now not only me, but when people driving, passing, they could know me, see me, and I could be like people could look up to me even though they see
a role
it.
model.
Yes, a role model.
Nice.
And Chanel, we see you wearing your bronze medal.
Yes.
Tell us, how does it feel just to be being a bronze medalist?
It feels proud to be a bronze medalist too. I was the youngest at Carifta, and thank you. And when I went up on the podium, I was like 869 go, because proud of myself.
Indeed. And I can't even realize you didn't came with your gold medal today, but still in the game, that gold medal shines bright right here in St. Kitts and Nevis. So tell us some of the other major competition that they have participated in, Coach.
From the Department of Sports, and we introduced a new competition because we felt that there is not sufficient competition here. We have basically interschool, TDC interschool, and we thought that it would be helpful to have other competitions. So we introduced what we call the Jinxing Up Classic, which is sponsored by Caribbean. That event proved to be very successful because it gave all athletes, another avenue, another platform to qualify for the Caribbean Games and even for other regional and international games. So in terms of that, they had development meets, what we call challenge series leading up to that. And we were endeavoring to get them, when I said them, I mean these two athletes, to the BVI or Antigua or somewhere close to get some sort of competition, high level competition before going to Carifta, but that did not materialize. But I'm hopeful that next year, considering their performances, that we will make sure that becomes a reality.
Of course. I didn't ask before we go, when you found out that you made the team, I'm gonna start with Akanya this time. What was your reaction?
It wasn't really surprising because last year,
I like that.
when I was younger, I made the team.
Okay.
And this year, well, I know I hit the qualifying mark, so it was expected of me to be on the team. So it wasn't really that surprising.
Okay. So Deshana, you were working towards a team. Can I assume that?
Yes. I qualified at the Jinxing Up Classic. Where I run 55.87.
Yeah, I remember that.
Impressive.
Okay, so you were working towards getting on this team. Yes. Oh, okay, good stuff.
And finally, guys, how do you balance your school academics as well as athletics at the same time?
Sometimes you have to know how to multitask. Well, I do great in my academics. I pass all 10 subjects.
Wow.
And in my track,
congrats.
I'm just trying to get better, even though I have a little injury, but I'm still trying to do better, but I balance both of them good.
Awesome.
Who is your biggest supporter?
My mom.
Okay.
She must be proud. She must be proud.
And Akanya, what about you?
Well, I balance my track and school. Well, training. I have to train in the morning because in afternoons I have afternoon classes and so on. So I balance it very well because I do very good in my schoolwork.
That's good.
I
Congratulations.
passed 10 out of my 11 subjects.
You don't say.
Last term, and I'm hoping to pass all of them this term.
I like that.
So the balance good.
Awesome.
Which subject is the troublemaker?
I think like literature.
Okay.
I was hoping to hear mathematics, but
no, he's good at math. Deschanel, Kanye, congratulations again. I know it's only up from here. I know next time I see Deschanel, she's going to be sporting that shiny gold. And I hope that you continue to reach for the stars and keep bringing home the gold medals. And Mr. Morton, great job at mentoring and training these athletes. I hope that the general public heard what you said and that they'll lend their support in whatever way they can to ensure that St. Kitts and Nevis continue to excel on the athletic scene. So thank you once again for coming. You're welcome and congratulations. And next time we're looking forward to that gold medal, okay?
And one last advice, get that education. Sports is wonderful, but make sure get that education first.
Indeed. Good morning, SKN. We have so much more in store. Stay tuned.
Cheers.
An exotic experience.
What will it take to grab the attention of someone with the power to make your dream come true? 7 hopeful entrepreneurs in search of the finances necessary to take their ideas to the next level.
This is their lives, right? This is their business.
4 savvy business owners ready to make a pragmatic investment.
You can't help people if you can't help yourself. First, you make the dollar and you give the dollar.
Why you take your business offline?
I really feel that you need to do a little bit more research.
Very knowledgeable. Super knowledgeable.
You have a great idea and a great concept. I think you'd be snapped up by Disney.
If you have a job someplace, it means that if something is not working, you can walk away.
Who will invest?
Let's do this. Let's do this.
Thank you. And who will be sent home with nothing? I am your host, Kevin Hope.
No cash, no card, no problem. Jad, embrace the freedom.
Yo, what up? It's your boy and Richie right here at Studio 327. I'm here to give you the promo that you guys need because this is something special for St. Kitts. I'm telling you, tune in to Good Morning SKN, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on YouTube, Facebook, and on Moment Channel 4. Also, I realize nobody else is doing this. Follow the Good Morning SKN Instagram at Good Morning SKN and the Studio 327 Inc. Instagram. Follow us on YouTube and Facebook. This is pretty long, but follow us and yeah.
Good morning, SKN. Wagwan. Yo, this is Bensley Lad coming to you live from Jamaica. You see it, go already. See me. I say Caribbean people stand up and I love this. This show is very important. You understand me? Yeah, man. Studio 327. Bensley Lad, say big up. See me, I say. I'm the whole innocent crew. Yeah, man. More love.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. Division Chef Berisha Stapleton is this year's winner of the Nevis Tourism Authority's Niche Culinary Scholarship. This morning we have welcoming Berisha Stapleton, the scholarship winner, and Devon Liber, CEO of the Nevis Tourism Authority. Welcome, guys. Welcome to Good Morning SKN.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back shortly. We have to take a short break. We're experiencing some technical difficulties at this time. Up next, we have Miss Berisha Stapleton, the scholarship winner, and Mr. Devon Liebert, CEO of the Nevis Tourism Authority. Stay tuned.
No cash, no card, no problem. Jad, embrace the freedom. no cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
Yeah.
An exotic experience.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. As promised, joining us now is Barisa Stapleton. She is this year's winner of the Nevis Tourism Authority Culinary Scholarship, and Mr. Devon Liebert, the CEO of the Nevis Tourism Authority. Good morning to you both, and welcome to Good Morning SKN.
Hi, it's a pleasure to be here on Good Morning SKN.
Happy y'all could join us this morning.
Our pleasure having you as well. Thank you for taking time out to do so. I will begin with the first question, and this one goes to Mr. Liebert. Mr. Liebert, tell us about the background of this scholarship that Miss Stapleton won.
Well, back in 2005, I think, the Nevis Tourism Authority hosted an event that was called Nevis International Culinary Heritage Exposition, and this was a food event, and it went on till about 2010. Oh. During this event, we decided to start a scholarship fund, and that fund was earmarked to assist some of our students in the area of hospitality, food, culinary, etc. However, as I indicated, the niche event ended in 2009, and we never got the opportunity to utilize the funds. So the funds were just sitting there until now. And it was recently we decided, the board and decided why not utilize the funds that are available. And that is the reason why we thought of culinary. It was a culinary event, and we wanted to look at an area that was needed in our society, and we thought that plant-based food preparation and people consuming plant-based dishes are becoming more and more popular. Yes. And we don't really have, even though some of our chefs and cooks delved into vegan food, I don't think that we have as many rooted Nevisians who are trained within this area. And this is the reason why we chose to offer a course for a qualified local chef so that they can go out and learn the basic and the rudiments of preparing plant-based dishes.
Awesome, awesome. And still with you, Mr. Liebert. For the niche scholarship, what were some of the qualifications for individuals to receive this? What were the qualifications to receive?
First, I'll answer it with the answer that there were no requirement. You didn't have to be a professional chef or professional. There was no need for you to have any culinary background or anything like that. So that was the basic thing that we were looking for. So we were looking for persons with the interests of who wanted to be able to expand their knowledge in the area, persons who visions, of course, and are willing to have the ability to travel for a period of time to do this course. And once you have that interest and basic knowledge, and someone who is already working within the hospitality industry also was one of the areas that we focus on.
Okay, good stuff. Mauricia, to you now. When did you hear about this scholarship and why did you decide to apply?
I heard about the scholarship maybe about 2 weeks before. A few of my friends, they sent me the link to it, and I was a bit like skeptical. I was like, oh, should I? I don't think you should. Do you think you have a real shot at doing this? And maybe like 2 days before the application deadline, I was able to submit my application.
Wow.
Awesome. And still with you, Berisha, when you actually heard that you won this scholarship, what was your reaction like?
Actually, I'm a teacher at the moment. I teach at the Charleston Secondary School, Food, Health and Nutrition. And I was actually in a class engaging in some revision games with a student when I got the phone call. So I asked my students to quiet down. And when I got the news, tears came to my eyes. I was emotional, I was overwhelmed. And a few of my students, I did tell them about this scholarship and me applying. And he was like, teacher, you got it. I was like, yes. And the whole bunch of students, they came, they gave me hugs. And it was a whole emotional scene, just me being excited, overwhelmed, joyous. It was a whole lot of emotions.
I feel them and see them even now, and congratulations on being the recipient of that scholarship. You are certainly welcome. So, Mr. Liebert, what is included in this scholarship? What does Ms. Stapleton get from it?
Well, it's a fully funded scholarship. The scholarship program is at Le Cordon Bleu Culinary School in the UK.
Nice.
So fully sponsored for 10 weeks. It includes tuition. It includes any equipment or any books or anything that she may need for the course. It involves airfare. It involves accommodation while in the UK, and it involves a stipend for living expense.
I like that. Ooh.
Awesome.
Any more scholarships available?
Everything is covered for the reason. Unfortunately, we were only able to put out one scholarship, and it's a one-time scholarship.
Okay.
Next year, who knows what may happen.
I was just gonna ask about next year, but you spoke to it, so I'm gonna wait for next year. I'm gonna live in the suspense for now.
Right. And Berisha, back to you. Earlier you said you teach food and nutrition. You're a food and nutrition teacher. But how will this scholarship further impact you?
Okay, well, first off, let me say, I recently started to teach, so this is my second year of teaching. But before that, I have been a chef for 9 years. I worked at the Four Seasons Resort for 9 years. I got laid off due to the COVID pandemic. So now that I'm a teacher, learning more about plant-based cooking, the different dishes that can be prepared, because most people think vegetables are boring, they think it's bland, nasty taste. But I feel like with a course like this, learning from French chefs, especially those with, amazing taste palettes, with different flavors that can be incorporated. I think students will be able to be exposed to it, get the knowledge of it, and also I'll be able to pass it on to different clients. Because I also work as a private chef, so this would encourage them to have more options when you're choosing their meals. Even locally, I find most restaurants, you have like the Ayatal shops, or we might have some person that geared towards vegan food, but I just feel like it can be a little more elevated. It could be a little more classy that it can be offered at even our hotels or high-scale restaurants and so forth.
Awesome. And Mr. Liebert, just before we go, what encouragement would you give to Berisha as she take on this opportunity?
Well, I've worked with Berisha for the past probably 5 years or so. Just for your knowledge, Berisha is one of our Mango Festival recruits, chefs. When we first began the event, the Sunday event, which is now called For the Love of Mangoes, Berisha was one of the first chefs who came on board with us. And we have witnessed the growth of Berisha over the years. So I'm very, very confident that Berisha would be able to produce and be able to maximize this opportunity that has been provided for her. Personally, I don't think that I can give Berisha any encouragement. I mean, she is all excited. She's very much qualified. I mean, she's as excited as anything else. And I'm fully confident that Berisha will go out and do her best and will return. First, I mean, I question about the fact that, okay, now Berisha is a teacher, how she's going to utilize that. But in further evaluation and further talking with Berisha, I recognize that, she is in the perfect place to be able to impart the knowledge and the skills that she requires from this that is available. And as she also indicated, she's a private chef. And I've heard great reviews. About her being a private chef. Persons who she has worked with, the millionaires, persons at the Four Seasons that she has interacted with. I'm very happy that she was the one who won this competition.
All right.
This scholarship.
Indeed. Well, thank you, Mr. Liebert. We'll take a short break. Berisha, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this. GMSKN Nation, stay tuned.
No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN, and joining us on Zoom is Miss Berisha Stapleton, the winner of the Nevis Tourism Authority Niche Scholarship.
Yeah.
Berisha.
Yes.
Just tell us, how did your passion for the culinary arts, where did it all begin?
At a young age, I was living with my grandmother. So at that age, I was started helping with cooking. And I really enjoyed it. It was a time for me to spend time with her and learn a lot from her as well. Later on, as she realized I was really good at it, I have an aunt. She used to work at the Montpelier Hotel, and she would send me to spend time with her if she's doing a catering job. She said, "Go and help your aunt." And from that, my passion grew. Seeing how people react when they taste food that is amazing, that is delicious, that gave me a sense of excitement, a sense of pride, and from that, my passion grew.
As a young child, at 16, I'm sure you would have completed your high school studies. This is me assuming, right? Why would you not enjoy your summer? Why would you decide to take up work at the Owali Beach Resort? I want to know.
Okay, well, at the age of 16, I would have been not quite finishing high school as yet.
Okay.
But at that time, it was the norm that once you're finished with your high school, you would get a summer job.
Okay.
You know, you'll be outside for a while, you want a little extra cash in hand. So a few of our friends decided that we would apply to the social development summer job management program. And on my application form, they asked what interest I have, and cooking was top of the list.
Nice.
And at that point, I was placed at Wally. I was a bit nervous or thinking of the distance because I live more in the Gingerland area. Wally is like on the other side of the island.
Indeed.
But I spoke to my parents, and my dad was like, "Okay, I've been telling you the kitchen is a lot of work, but you seem hell-bent on doing this, so I will assist you." And he used to take me to work every morning, and that afternoon he will pick me up. So even though it was working during my summer, I got so much experience. I got to see what it's like being in a professional kitchen. And the ladies I worked with were really, really nice. So I really did enjoy that.
That's so sweet.
So, Barisha, on top of working at the Wally Beach, you also work at the Nevis Four Seasons. You worked in the capacity as a breakfast and a lunch chef. Tell us about your experience working with that hotel.
Okay, well, when I started at the hotel, I started in 2012, just after finishing studying at the Navy Sixth Form College. And I worked as a breakfast chef. While working there, I had so many hiccups, not knowing how to make omelets the professional way. And once I learned that, over the years, I was given the title as the Director of Excellence. So I worked the omelet station in the actual breakfast restaurants, and I would make the omelets for the guests up front. I was even given a title one time. This gentleman asked me how I managed to make 8 omelets at once.
Wow.
I had like 2 stoves in front, and I had a back burner. I had 6 going. I just kept going. So it was really fun for me.
Nice.
Interacting with the guests. Interacting with them while making the omelets and keeping a friendly disposition, engaging them in conversation. That was really fun. A few years after that, I was transferred to lunch, which was very nerve-wracking for me. And it was in the heart of the busy season. And I really didn't feel like I was confident enough to make that transition. And to my surprise, I did it. I did it amazingly. And I made friends that are now some of my closest friends to this day. And working in that area as well, I challenged myself to learn new things and be able to work as a team player. And we were given some of the opportunities to actually cook in front of the restaurant, exactly in front of guests again. And just seeing the reaction of the guests as you cook for them, and then they get the food freshly from the grill or from whatever area I was working at. It was just such a humbling feeling, and that just fueled my passion even more.
Nice. I like that. Wow. So what was your favorite thing to cook for the guests? I want to know the favorite thing.
Well, apart from making rice, because that was just easy and I could just show my skills. Seeing me doing the flip is like a child, is just amazing. But my fritters were a hit. It was to the point that I was responsible for making fritters.
Wow.
Even if I'm off, make sure we have fritters when you're off, because those were just amazing.
So, Baricia, you secretly have to know that you owe me some conch fritters, right? Because you know that's my favorite thing.
Oh, really? I got you.
All righty.
Awesome. And back to the scholarship, Barisha, how is the preparation going so far?
Well, I have had my enrollment. I have submitted all my application essays, uniform measurements, and I have my seat secured. So I'm on to finding a flat or studio apartment to stay in.
Okay.
That has been the most tedious part in terms of finding a spot that is close to the school, as well as being able to get the routes down packed. We have Google Maps that makes it easier.
Okay.
So just at this point, I'm just trying to secure where I'll be staying. And then from that, it's just to start packing and waiting my flight.
Yeah, you're ready. You're ready to go. You sound ready like Freddie.
Yes.
I'm gonna go to something that you said, right? You said, Baricia, that if you do something, do it with passion or don't do it at all. Is this something that you instill in your students as well? And can you tell us how this particular phrase, how it would have helped you in your life?
Okay, well, it is something I try to instill in my students. I find that at this age, they sometimes do things just because they have to. And I use my own life experiences to show them that that is not just necessarily the case. If you are given a task to do, it is your duty to try and do it to your best of your ability. For the simple reason, you never know where that will take you.
Exactly.
And it is something I would have experienced because I know growing up, I was told, being in the kitchen is hard work. You don't want to do this, be an accountant, do something else. But I just love to cook. And eventually, when I actually realized, okay, being in the kitchen is real hard work, but that doesn't mean I should just do the bare minimum or just do any old thing. I realized that when I cook food and it is delicious, it's presented well, and at the same time I have positive attitude towards it, it pays off. It pays off whether it's in tips, it pays off whether it's in words of praise, it pays off in just knowing that I did this and somebody's happy based off of what I would have done.
Indeed. And Barisha, from one chef to another, because this is what I do outside of working here in studio as well. I can just hear the passion when you speak, and I just wish you nothing but the best.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Make us proud. I know it's Nevis, but it's a whole federation, so do us proud. And remember, you owe me those conch fritters, okay?
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Barisha, for talking with us. We wish you all the best and continue to represent our federation well.
I will. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And there you have it, folks. Much more when we return on GMSKN.
各位朋友，大家好. Greetings, my lovely people. I'm Chantel, residing in Taiwan. 12 hours time difference. It's nighttime here, morning time in SK. I'm busy and on the go. However, I always manage to keep up to date with what's happening in SK. All thanks to Good Morning SKN. Good morning SKN. Ciao, bango!
Yeah.
An exotic experience.
to Good Morning SKN. This morning's guest is Kimaro Byron Keynes, Director of the National Council on Drug Abuse Prevention, and Conjay Byron, Parenting and Emotional Processing Coach. These ladies are joining us for this segment as we recently discussed the concluded Safe Space Parenting Program at the Sadler's Secondary School. Good morning, ladies, and welcome to Good Morning SKN.
Good morning, and thank you for having us.
Aww, on cue. Our pleasure indeed. I'm going to start with you first, Kimaru. What? Karimu. Oh my God, that name eludes me all the time. Why not choose the sixth graders? Why did you opt to go for the first form students?
Okay, so at the National Council, we do a number of prevention and intervention as it relates to drug misuse. So at the primary school right now, we have launched a Living Above the Influence 11 sessions program. And so we figured we're already touching the primary school level. We trained the guidance counselors, we provided a manual. And so we already have an intervention in place. How the parenting program started, let me rewind a bit. Sadler Secondary School reached out to our department for support because it was a huge issue with marijuana misuse. They were receiving challenges with academic performance decline. And so we sent out our drug prevention officer who conducted a number of sessions with the students there. We did a postmortem, fast forward, we did a postmortem session, and coming out of that postmortem, we knew something more had to be done, and parenting was one of the areas specifically for that school. And so we pushed forth and started with the first formers.
Wow.
At Sadler Secondary.
Wow. So Conjay, I'm gonna bring you in. How did you get on this bandwagon?
Well, Karima knows a little bit about my business and what I do and the heart behind Safe Space Parenting. And she reached out to me and asked me if I would be interested. And of course, you know, parenting is my passion and teaching individuals how to emotionally process their feelings. So it was, and then I've been away for about 21 years.
That long?
Yes.
Wow.
And it's always been a hope to kind of bring back my expertise home. So this was like the perfect opportunity.
Oh, nice. I like
So,
that.
Karima, for those persons who are watching, tell us, what's the aim of this program?
Okay, so the overall aim, when we do drug prevention, evidence-based research and findings show that children who have good parent-child bonding tend to do well in society, perform better academically. They do not get involved in criminal or juvenile delinquent behavior. And so we wanted to make sure that parents are equipped with knowledge on the various milestone and developmental tools that they can use to harness better bonding between parent and child, and then assist with curtailing those other challenges that we see in society.
You said something interesting there. So what about those kids that have that bond but still end up in the situation that we don't want them in because of peer pressure?
Right. So you bring up a good point, because it's not only one factor, but that would cause children to end up in challenging situation. It's a number of factors.
Indeed.
Parenting bonds is a large one. So hopefully through these parenting program as well, you learn how to maneuver socialization issues and different parenting aspects. We also do a number of other intervention sessions at schools and among other vulnerable populations. So we're trying to target a lot of different areas because it's a holistic approach in drug prevention.
Okay, so Sadler's was the first cohort, and who would be next, if I can ask?
I don't even know if I want to say, because even before I realized the pictures and the media post came out, I had a number of the guidance counselors and parents, I want that at my school next. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna get there.
Okay.
I won't.
No pressure then. Okay, no pressure.
But we have 2 schools that we're eyeballing for the next cohort.
Okay, and that would have been too after much research and the schools reaching out to you.
Yes.
Wow, we're in trouble in society, boy.
So there's some form of research prior to going to these schools.
Yes. Well, prevention is a science. It's not just about drug education. So there's a lot of, not only within the school population, but we look at other international practices that are working and see how we can best utilize it in St. Kitts and Nevis. And then, of course, we go into the school to hear what the issues are, what the challenges are, and so we try to tailor programs based on what is being experienced.
Interesting. So, Conjure, what's your role in this initiative?
Yeah, so I had the esteemed honor of facilitating the 4-week parenting program. I'm a licensed clinical mental health counselor by training. And so Safe Space Parenting was just an initiative that I decided to start after doing community-based mental health in the States. And so it was wonderful just meeting the ladies, hearing their stories, and just sharing how they can create emotional safety in their homes, and having them actively participate in some of the skills. We just had a wonderful time.
How many participants were they?
So we had almost 20 persons showing interest.
Don't mind my eyes.
No, but 14 signed up, but consistently to complete the program, only 8.
Aww.
So we would really, really like to see more parents jump into this opportunity. I mean, I sat into some of these sessions and I learned so much.
Wow.
You know, especially when we did that real life.
Yes.
I kind of jumped in as well. They were looking for a volunteer to role play. So I jumped in. I was like, wow, this is something that I can slip up with as a mommy. I have to pay attention to make sure I'm really listening, because sometimes you just brush your chip. Sorry. Kill them if you ever see this. But sometimes like they're talking and talking.
Yeah.
But you really have to be paying attention. I didn't realize that sometimes you could miss information so easily, and that kind of creates a distance, which is not healthy. So I really hope more parents could come on board.
Conjure, what are some of the issues that the parents said? Karima just messaged that you listen, but you passively listen, or you don't hear at all. Was that something that the moms, because I saw it was all women, so I'm gonna say moms. Was that something that the moms had as an issue as well?
I think it was a little bit of that. We're of course dealing with the first formers. They're getting into adolescent years. They're trying to, be autonomous, and so it was the listening. It was not opening up as much. Maybe not doing chores. So some of those were the issues, but more so the opening up and that connection.
Why weren't they opening up to their parents though?
That's a really, really good question. I think that a lot of, I think it's normal or natural for when kids reach a certain age, they're more lean to friendships. And they I think it's a little bit of a separation between the parent and child around that age. And that's why it's so important to learn skills like emotional safety, so that you're kind of learning how to bridge that gap with your child.
Interesting. So, Karima, I know it's a parenting program, and by looking at the pictures that were circulating, I realized it was mostly female. How do you encourage our fathers to join the program as well?
That's something that we're looking into, and I must say there was one father who participated, but because of work, he was unable to finish the program. Yes, he was unable to complete the program. But that's something that's on the postmortem floor for us to see how we could reach not only fathers but more parents as well as we move forward.
Yes, I had to make sure that I gave him a very special shout out in the group, because it was so great and refreshing to see a man, because this is across the board. Even when I was in the States, it was across the board. It's a lot of single parent households as well.
And it's mostly women that attend these things and not the dads. Wow. What are some of the lessons? I know you ladies already mentioned a few. What are some of the other lessons that you taught the parents that completed?
Yes, we learned about what the parenting program was geared about, healing childhood emotional neglect, which is a very common issue. Sometimes that happens explicitly, sometimes it happens implicitly. It's something that we all may have experienced, whether it be by a parent or peer. And so they learned what childhood emotional neglect was, because they learned about different types of parenting styles and which one was best for children. They learned about how to create emotional safety. They actually had homework where they had to go home and interview their children and ask them questions like, what makes you feel close to me? What do you like that we do together? What do you want us to do more together? They learn, of course, self-regulation skills, because parenting is stressful, especially for singles moms. Again, you have to manage work, you have to manage the kids, you have to do this. So we just talked about self-care. We talked about them tapping into their creativity, things that they enjoy doing. And we, of course, set expectations, realistic expectations for their age group. So we looked at ages and stages. And we also explore, which is a very important, or the highlight of the program, is exploring their own childhood experiences, how they were parented. And then we looked at, what do you want to keep from your experience? What do you want to change, and what do you want to do differently? And that's how we ended the sessions.
Some of us, we didn't have a say. We just had to go with what our parents said. So good question.
Right.
So yeah.
And Karimo, back to you. I noticed after the training there was a graduation ceremony.
Yes.
Can you share with the audience some of the high points at that graduation ceremony?
Well, one of the things that I like the best is the feedback from one of the parents.
She
spoke. She represented the group. She represented the group. I heard individually outside of the graduation. They were pulling me like, we need more. But her highlighting the different benefits that she received from it, I know this is definitely something that the Drug Council want to continue as we move forward. We were also fortunate enough. We reached out to SL Horsfords because we wanted to celebrate the parents for coming out, and they donated $300 shopping voucher to all the parents that completed the program.
That's sweet.
And they were so grateful for that gift. I cannot promise it would happen every time.
Somebody else can come on board.
Yes, but we're welcome. We're welcome. Yeah. But it's something I will try to do, because I like to celebrate people who reach out and try to better themselves for their children and for others. Yes. I really wanted to seal it with that. And with the good help of our vice chairman of the council, Mr. Morton, we were able to get that funding for the parents. So definitely the awesome feedback from the parents, and getting persons from the private sector to come on board with us to push this initiative.
And how can they come on board with you? This is your opportunity. You look into the camera now and you tell them this one, this one, and you tell them how they can get on board.
So the National Council on Drug Abuse Prevention, with our aim to really ensure drug prevention interventions and treatment programs are being run. We're doing a lot of research, training, and programs. If anyone in the viewing audience would like to support us, you can reach us at 662-9059 or 662-3938 to come on board and support us with this initiative. And like we always do, we promote companies that come on board.
Exactly.
We make sure that we cover them in media to show our appreciation. So we are open, and thank you for that opportunity.
You are certainly welcome, and you heard it here first, so support them or else you'll see me. So ladies, what's next for the program as you continue along? And are you staying with us or are you going back?
For right now, I'm here. I'm hoping
to.
I'm actually going to try to get my business license today to see how I can contribute for
You'll get it. You'll get it. Yeah, you'll get it.
So we'll see. We'll see what God is doing.
Okay, good stuff.
Yes. So we do have a pool of other parenting facilitators. Three for now, but I was made aware of a different group that I can tap into.
Okay.
So we're going to be implementing the parenting program in both St. Kitts and in Nevis.
Yes. Good stuff, Federation.
At the Drug Council, though, coming up next week, we will be facilitating a full week of training in adolescent drug treatment. We have some facilitators from the Organization of American States who will be flying in to facilitate that certification program.
Things.
So we're looking forward to that next week, targeting guidance counselors, some nurses, counselors, mental health counselors. Will be part of that training at the Drug Council. So we're looking forward to that as well.
Andre, before you ask your question, remember what you're gonna ask. Do we have a big drug problem here in St. Kitts?
It's
currently.
It's definitely growing.
Wow.
Especially since conversations surrounding the relaxing of the law surrounding cannabis. We get calls constantly from schools, some parents showing concerns, and so it's something that it needs to be addressed.
Wow. I'm gonna ask a big one. Fentanyl has not yet infiltrated our society.
I have not been exposed to anything about fentanyl as yet.
I just have to make sure. Please don't bring it to the shores.
Oh dear. Praying.
Yeah. Well, ladies, this conversation has been engaging. I hope it's not our last, and I hope we get to keep you. I don't want to hold you hostage, but I just feel like we need you for now.
Yes.
See? She agrees.
She is on me.
And she is excellent at what she does. So
I feel it already.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, ladies, thank you so much. Keep doing the great work. We need the next generation. They are our future.
Absolutely.
So I hope that whatever you do, it works for the parents, and in turn, the parents can work with the kids, and the kids can work with all the kids, and we can have a safe space for everyone as we proceed.
That's the goal.
Oh, whoa. On cute. You see what you need to say? Do you see what you need to say? So thank you so much, ladies, for coming.
Thank you
and I
for
hope this
having us.
this is not our last conversation. You're welcome.
I hope so.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yes. Pleasure. GMSKN Nation, stay tuned. So much more after this short break.
Yeah.
An exotic experience.
morning. This is Carol from Lux Carnival, and I listen to Good Morning SKN.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. And if you're just unfortunately joining us, it is that time where we loosen up.
But unfortunately,
Yep, well,
unfortunately, if they join us now, they missed a lot.
they miss so much.
Because I know loosen up gonna be fun. You know?
It's an awesome show. Awesome show.
That's far, indeed.
Have you seen the trend online where people write letters to their younger selves? Well, that's what we'll be speaking about today. Both Hortensia and I have written a letter to our younger selves, and we will be sharing it with you today and speaking about the growth that comes with age.
Wow.
You ready to share your letter, Courtney?
Today I will let the gentleman go first. Yes.
Want me to go first?
So you want me to go first, sister?
No problem. I will let them see who Andre is and how he has managed to evolve. Okay, folks, here goes. Dear Andre, I really wish I would have figured out a few things a little bit earlier on. So here's what my note to you. Save your energy and your emotion for things that really matter. The most meaningful events in your life will have absolutely nothing to do with how much you weigh or who likes you. Do not try to grow up too fast. Stay in school and continue to live off your parents, your mom and your dad, for as long as you can, because trust me, there are going to be days you're going to wish you were still at home with them. You won't remember everything you learned in school. Believe that. Choose your CXC subject areas wisely, as it will ultimately be the start of your career. This one is actually so important, especially to me. Pay attention when a company called Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or WhatsApp comes along. They will lift you up on a high, but also make and break you. And finally, it is okay to make mistakes. You will learn from them. It is okay to be different. Be you. The world will adjust.
Oh, that's so sweet, Andre. I cried to the laugh, you know? especially with the 4 social media outlets that you mentioned.
Listen, those persons who are young folks out there, trust me, just tell yourself, when you grow older, there's gonna be this company comes along. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, WhatsApp. Be careful of them.
I wouldn't even ask why.
No, today love yourself.
Andre, oh gosh. The audience is not supposed to see this side of me, you know. They're not supposed to see this side of me.
I am eager to hear your lesson.
Let me tell you, I write, I scratch, I scratch. Oh my gosh. I don't even know what I wrote. But guys, here goes. Dear younger self, you will meet some interesting folks and situations that will give you the path, or that will show you the path your life will take. Dear younger self, yes, I said that a lot. You will and can accomplish everything you set your mind to. You will be timid. You will need a thought or two at times when you become complacent. You will fall into a rut at times, but get up. Don't be too hard on yourself. Always remember to be your authentic self. Don't fall for what you see on the telly, as all that glitters is not gold. Live every chapter of your life with purpose. Remember, life is not perfect, and neither are you. Ignore the things that are said to you to bring you down or make you feel small. Listen to the advice of your mom. Although it seems harsh, her words will never lead you wrong, as they are words of wisdom. Be mindful of the friends or associates you will have in your life, and remember that some may not continue the journey of life with you. Be mindful that everyone won't want the best for you, but that's okay. Dear younger self, the best thing to do when you run into folks like that is love them from afar. Younger self, you will achieve all your heart's desire, even if there is a pause in between. You only have one life. Make the best of it. Make the best of that dash between your arrival here on Earth. No, it's not a bad word, it's just a dash. Between your arrival here on Earth until your departure. Love always, Hortensia. That was my younger self. Yeah.
That was so special. But listening to what you said they should thank their mom.
Yeah.
But isn't it the reverse though? Like daughters to actually.
No, it's for me to thank my mom.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, because remember sometimes when they tell us things you don't want to hear it.
Right.
But when you get older, you realize what they were telling you was only to lead you along the right path.
Right, but some daughters would rather appreciate that advice from their dad. Well, in my case, yes,
I'm a mommy's girl.
My mom gives me so much advice, and my sister would get all the advice she can from her dad.
Oh no, no. I love my dad, but see, me and my dad, we got this relationship, right?
As we all think.
People think. When I took my dad to the doctor, Dr. Joy could tell you this. Every time I take my daddy to the doctor, me and my daddy fight like grease warriors, right? As soon as she see us, she be like, "Oh Lord, you two again," because she know exactly what's gonna happen in her office. I love my dad, but I'm a mommy's girl. Yeah, I'm a mommy's girl.
I'm sure. But Courtney, tell us, how much have you grown since your younger years?
Plenty, and there's still more to go. As I said, some of the advice that I didn't take from my mom, they make a lot of sense now, and I try to incorporate them in my life. I only give advice if people ask for advice, because I know sometimes when I get advice, sometimes I'll be like, I don't want that, or I didn't do it, although I know it was beneficial to me. I charted my own path, and then I see, boy, if I would only take that advice, or if I'd only listen. That's why I said anything that my mom would say, good or bad, if I would tell my younger self, just decipher what she's saying and pick out what works for you and what doesn't work for you, because not all the advice that they gave us were beneficial to us. As Conchi just said, some of the parents that were in the program, they had parental issues with their parents too, and I know most persons would say that. But yeah, I would decipher and work with them.
I agree.
What about you?
I was just going to give you a scenario. Have you ever been in a situation where persons will actually see you heading down the wrong path and they have no form of encouragement to give you? And as soon as you start dust off yourself, you pick up yourself, and you're back on track, achieving what you were meant to achieve, then you start to get all that encouragement from that individual.
I've never had that, because I dealt with what should I call it, a warden. My mother never played. No, my mother never played. That's why, because as younger kids, I would have loved to go to the school or the class party. My mom would say, no, you're not going to the party, blah blah blah. So now I understand why she was trying to protect me from certain things. That's why now as an adult, it's hard for me to say, oh, I want to go out, I want to do this, I want to no, because I'm already conditioned to that type of lifestyle. So I realized how beneficial it was. So it saves me a lot, because who knows, every pan that knock I might have been at, I might have been a broke chick. So my mom teaching me to save, teaching me that not every pan knock you are to be there. So yeah, advice.
I can relate. I remember growing up, I live close to a football field. And trust me,
football big in Jamaica, that I know.
Listen, I live close to the football field, and my mom and dad, there you go there, stay in the yard, play with your brother and sister. That's how I was raised. And I think it have helped me to, stay out of trouble, just be you, and just,
At the moment, did you feel some kind of resentment towards them when they tell you they couldn't do something? Because I did.
I don't know. I think maybe my parents saw something that was different about Andre from a younger age. Yes, and I think it grew with me, and that's who I am today.
Okay, fair enough. Because sometimes when I got told I didn't go, as my sister would say, you're the one that always go and cry. But my cry was out of, I would say, trying to keep my vexation in, because maybe I can get a little aggressive. So yeah, that's what I did. So was it challenging for you to accept yourself for who you genuinely are?
Honestly, it wasn't, because as I said, I don't know, from an early age, my parents would instill certain values within me, and they would ensure that I learned from them. And on top of that, they saw something within me when I was young. Now that I become an adult, when I open up certain things to my parents, they were like, sure, you know what I mean? Figure it out. We already know. And stuff like that. And so it wasn't a challenge for me when I was growing up at all.
Okay. What about peer pressure? Did you experience that?
Oh, who doesn't?
I know, we all did.
Who doesn't? But I can tell you my parents in particular, being at home, I can guarantee you, if they heard certain news out there,
you know, I'm laughing, right?
My mom and my dad can say, not my boy.
Good.
Peer pressure influences us all, but how you were raised have a lot to do with your outcome.
Because I know the mom that I had, like when I would go to school in Ghana and I got in trouble with the kids, and I know my mom would come to school, or all of our parents would come to school and beat us in front of our friends, because I swear them parents some days, they didn't think about our reputation. So if I did something wrong, I would cry to the teacher like, no, you can't call my mom, you can't do that. And I promise not to do it again. But you know, being human, it happens again and again. And boy, I'm so thankful that the Lord was on my side, that every time I cried, the teachers believed it. And my mom never got to come to the school because that flogging that would have ensued. Oh, Andre, no. Parents, think about your kids' reputation. No, they don't have no reputation until they leave your house.
Listen, I can recall back in primary school, the very first time I got myself into a fight, I was so embarrassed because the guy dust me out, dust me out. I cried. Corty, you're laughing.
How you did look like?
Corty?
Fish ready to fry?
Listen, the boy grabbed me and you see my physique, and he lifted me and threw me.
This was a wrestling match?
Listen, I was so embarrassed, I cried all the way home. And the funny thing, it was during lunch break, and you know what? My mom think she have me back, you know, follow me straight to school. And when she saw the individual that actually was in the confrontation with you, was like, that's the guy who fight you, and put me right in front of him with the principal and actually beat me in front of him. So this is what I sent you to school to do. So instead of, I think my mom was gonna come to school and defend me, or actually, you know, my mom in return give me a lashing right there in front of
you. Didn't tell her you don't get somebody slamming thing?
Listen,
well, sir,
at the end of the day, looking back as a grown adult now, it taught me walk away from certain situations.
Exactly.
I mean, back then I would have in the confrontation, but today looking back, it taught
isn't
me
worth it.
It doesn't work. I could have walked away.
Yeah. And you wouldn't have been dusted.
Exactly. And I think it was Katy Perry. We're up on the break, guys, but I think it was Katy Perry who said, I wish I knew then what I knew now. You know that song? I wish I knew then what I knew now, would have dived in. That.
No, that's. I don't know. Yo, maybe the seniorness, but I don't know that song.
You know the song is very popular.
Okay, maybe I have to hear it, but right now it's not resonating on the brain.
Trust me, that song fits perfectly into this.
Indeed.
Letter to younger selves.
Yeah, I'm glad we wrote those letters to our younger selves. It made us realize that we will both be okay.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Folks, we're up on the break. Soon come.
Yeah.
An exotic experience.
earlier today, we shared with you our letters to our younger selves that we wrote. So we'll be traveling back in time to review some of the toys we may have played with as children. As always, join in the fun and let us know in the comment section which of these toys you would have played with. And did your mom come to the school and dust you out? You can tell us that as well. Or did you get dusted out by one of your friends? Well, because sometimes those people that dust us out. I remember when I started high school, I had 2 friends. My God, they treated me poorly. But guess what? One is my best friend until today. As much as I can be there for her, I try my best to be. But yeah, we started out cutting our eyes and making mean faces. And look at us now. Grown adults that know better. That we would have gotten to know each other than behave the way we behave.
So now you're wide awake.
Wide awake. Hey, we got the name of the song, y'all, and I do know the song. Yes, I'm not that senior.
Katy Perry, Wide Awake.
And we are certainly wide awake. Yeah.
Indeed.
Lit, light bright. No, I saw it on TV. I wanted it, but I never got it.
Light and bright.
Yeah, you remember that? You make all kind of shapes and it lit up once you turn off the lights, because that's how the advert was.
I have no clue.
So
First time seeing this one.
Really?
Yes. Light bright.
Yeah.
Oh, you said it lights up in the.
You make the shapes and then you turn off the light and then you see it. So it lights up in the dark.
That was part of your era.
Probably yours too.
Probably was your keyword.
Andre seemed like he need me to dust him out. Cause he trying my age. Oh, you remember these? Tell me you got these in a party bag somewhere, man.
Wonderful waterfalls.
You don't remember these?
I don't remember this one.
Andre is a 90s or 2000 child?
90s.
No man, you need some dusting out. Friend, come, let's dust out.
This was not a part of my generation.
But Andre, even as an adult, you never saw them?
Hold on.
Come now, man.
Oh yes.
Exactly.
Yes. Like
so we press them and we try to get it on the rings on
the hoop. Yeah, I remember them.
You see, your brain needed some dusting out. Because I know you got to know these.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Waterfalls. Yeah, they were interesting.
Exactly.
And the funny thing, when you keep pressing, all of a sudden the water will just start to come through the buttons. That's how I would
press so aggressively?
That's how I would actually damage mine. I remember these. When you continually press the buttons,
that's if you press them hard. Because too, if you press them hard and you have a bunch of them on the holder, then you make them come off. So you have to be strategic of how you press them.
I remember it well.
Andre mash up his yes. Wow. Ooh. You remember skip it, bop it?
What is this, a yo-yo?
No, you put it on your leg. Remember, we did a lot of exercise as kids and we didn't realize we were exercising, because we didn't have them things to keep us inside. The only thing I didn't like was the bop it. My cousins had these, so when we go to Tortola for summer vacations, we used to play with them. So you put the skip it around your leg, and then you just keep jumping and it just keeps going around. And they had the skip it with the lights too that we had in the night. We would turn off the front room light and just skip. My aunt used to say, yeah, stay in there and broke your tail.
I'm puzzled. This one...
You know skip it, man.
I don't know skip it.
You know skip it.
I'm telling you.
What you want to tell me you know skip it? You know skip it and you know bop it. Any money.
That one right.
Any money, Andre.
Skip it and bop it.
You know skip it, bop it. You don't... Andre, you know it, man. Okay, I'm going to show you after the show.
Let us know in the comment section if you actually know what skip it and bop it is. I don't.
Andre knows it. Yo, when I show him after the show, he's going to be like, oh, that? You remember that?
Furby.
You don't remember Furby?
Oh, that's it.
You see? Skip it?
You know the funny thing? I've seen it, but
you didn't know the name.
Weren't privy to it at all.
That's the skip it thing. You see? That's what we do. And I have the one that lights up in the night. Yeah. So we had a bunch. So we thought we were having fun, but we were exercising in the process because during the summer we eat a lot of junk food. Like my auntie would just buy them and plaster them there. So whilst we eat junk food, we still exercising.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Now I recall.
Good. See, I tell you,
Furby.
Yeah, Furby. I never had a Furby, but I wish I had a Furby. But yeah.
Is this the thing that you put in your vehicle and you like the dog and you see his head moving like this?
No, I think this one actually talks.
Ah, it does.
Furby! And we have all of them together. Oh, Jesus, yeah. My cousins had the luxury of having all of these things, so...
I'm sorry, I'm getting old. This one doesn't ring a bell at all. Top boy.
I remember this. You can make your voice sound. You can adjust the speed of your voice on this song. Yeah.
It reminds me of them old-time cassettes.
You remember the Walkman you used to have?
Right, you did.
And then your CD player, and you thought you were hip, walking around with this big thing in your hand. But it was the style. Yeah, but Talk Boy, you could.
It was a thing. I remember it.
Increase the speed of your voice, slow the speed of your voice. Again, my cousins had all of these things.
Tickle me, Elmo.
It's still in style though. That is not going anywhere.
Listen, I have currently have one at home.
You have a Tickle Me, Elmo?
Yes, but this one, when you sing, when you touch it, 30, you laugh, you're cracking me up. When you tickle it, it actually sings. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine.
Oh, so that's your picker-upper?
That's it.
Oh, Tickle Me, Elmo. Okay. Maybe I should get me one.
Make me happy.
No, I want a dog.
Times are drained. You're never lonely. How much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. That's it. That's my Tickle Me Elmo. I have one.
How about
Game
this?
Boy. Listen, I would watch my brother. He would always be interested in this Game Boy thing. And I remember my brother came from the States and gave us two. And in a week or less, I would realize my brother throw down his. So I say, Adrian, how you not play yours? Because me still stuck on level 1. Adrian, my brother done master it long time.
Oh, so it's you ain't mastered the thing?
Slow in it when it come on to games.
Listen, summertime when we have game play,
Right.
I just had the bigger ones where you blow out.
Right.
Listen, I used to cheat,
But
y'all.
this one, is it like, I remember, I don't know, what was the significance of blowing in it?
Because we try and take out the dust. You remember it used to get dust, and then sometimes you remember when it's sticking, we had to blow to move the dust
Remove
and put it back in. Yes,
Got it.
yes.
Game Boy was a thing. I totally remember Game Boy.
Yeah. Oh no, the
Show
troll.
dogs.
I remember what happened to the hair. Remember after a while we couldn't comb it no more, it stick together.
I remember these.
And it
for real.
fall out.
I remember these. I do remember these.
I hope the audience, the viewing audience, is having as much fun as we are with these toys. Because boy, the blue one is a representation of what happens to the hair.
Perfect example.
Oh my gosh.
I wonder what the hair were made of back then. Wonder what they used to make.
Oh my gosh. Oh, they're gonna make me cry today. I cannot figure the material.
Dolls
for
come
real.
a long way.
Yeah.
I see the other day they have the Barbie, and I see back in Jamaica they have what? Shensia Barbie doll now?
Wow.
It's a thing. If you're not dolling, you're not saying nothing.
So I'm supposed to be dolling?
Yes, you should.
Okay.
Next one,
I just
guys.
want my hair to stay stretched. I think
Armstrong. I don't remember this one, but I do remember the
Isn't he a wrestler? I don't know.
It seems so. I do remember the Power Rangers. The Pink Ranger, the Green Ranger.
Yeah.
You remember those?
Yeah, I watched a whole movie with them the other day, and they actually had the old Rangers in it. I was like, wow. They got Tommy, they got everybody. No, Tommy wasn't there. They got Billy, they got Zach, they got Kimberly. Yeah, they got them all to come back.
Memory Lane.
Yeah, Memory Lane. Bop it. See? Bop it. So bop it.
What is it, a whistle?
No, you have to pull it. It's a set of actions you have to do. And complete them, or else it's gonna make a funny sound. So it's gonna tell you to pull it, push it, bop it, and you have to do all of that, and then it speeds up. So when you do, once you stop doing it or you don't do it in coordination, next person. Yeah.
Interesting.
See, so we were doing footwork, arm work, and we had our little disco parties at 2 o'clock when we woke up. We always played our little shabarangs. Listen, I enjoyed someone's growing up. It was fun. So we had our dance party then.
Magically.
Don't remember this.
What is this?
Maybe it picked up something, but I don't remember it.
Magic Meat.
I honestly don't remember Magic Mip.
I don't
Aww. Is that all we got for you guys today? Wow.
Why are you crying?
Oh, look. Andre, you make me laugh.
This. Yes, I remember this one.
And when I get a hearty laugh, it comes with tears. You're lucky I'm not flat out on the ground. You should ask about me. I'm a hot mess.
Slinky.
Yep.
Slinky was a thing. I remember
walking up and down the stairs, or as you do rightfully doing it, hold it in our hands.
Fun.
Yeah. I like the silver one, but then when the color one came in, it was bomb.com. So yeah.
I like the colors.
Lovely. Slinky, Slinky, everybody slinky.
Well, Courtney, time really flies when we're having fun.
Sure does.
Folks,
What an interesting show, huh? I enjoyed today's show.
I enjoyed this one.
Yeah.
Very educational and inspiring.
And the athletes. Thank you, athletes. Congratulations again.
Exactly.
Only goal next year we're bringing home.
Folks, this is where we say so long. Farewell to you, my friends. Goodbye for now. Until we meet again.
Does Tickle Me Elmo sing that song too?
Thank you for joining us today, folks. Tune in daily where you will find a little bit of everything for everyone. Get your friends and family to watch. Remember to follow us on our social media platforms, including Facebook and YouTube at Studio327 Inc. and Instagram at Good Morning SKN. Remember to like, subscribe, follow, and share. Also, check out our website at studio327inc.com to learn more about GMSKN and Studio 327.
I think for our producers that may be watching, we should bring your toy that you still have as an adult to work day, because I want to see this Tickle Me Elmo, and then I'll see what toy I can find to bring along. So to the executive producer with an S that are watching, please make that happen.
You'd be surprised some stuff we brought up in the studio.
What else does Andre have in his house? Dun, dun, dun. Well, this is the part where I say leave us a comment and let us know what was your favorite part of today's show. I hope you enjoyed the show thoroughly. And this is where I say see you tomorrow, Friday. Yay, when you wake up at 8 a.m. Get your coffee, stretch, turn on your devices, call your friend, tell them that GMSKN is on right now. So see you tomorrow when you'll start your morning with us right here at Good Morning SKN. Have a great day, guys. And remember, if you can't have a great day, according to Sabato Bro, don't go messing up nobody else's. Bye.
Have a productive one, folks.